At City Hall today, council members kicked off a residential street rebuilding project first approved by voters in 2016. They approved construction contracts in 2 areas of the city.
Our Brian Burns is standing by along one of the sections slated for rebuilding. Brian.
Well, I am on Moravian Street between McCardle and SPID behind me, and this block is slated to be among the first to be rebuilt under that 2016 bond package. Now, Council today approved the almost $9 million in contracts to rebuild 70 individual blocks that qualify under the first of many projects aimed at rebuilding residential streets. Now, these streets are not the worst residential streets, but streets where the material that make up the roadbeds can be recycled. Valerie Gray, Executive Director of Public Works for the city, tells us she's glad to let residents know the residential rebuild program is finally underway.
This is going to be streets that are more, not the worst first, but those that have, they're not candidates for the maintenance program. They have fallen into that area of PCI where a maintenance treatment will not extend the life.
Gray says the first step is to inform all residents affected before the work begins on these 9 miles worth of individual city blocks. Now, each section may include some curb, gutter, sidewalk, driveways, and utility work, and the entire project is expected to take about 10 months, and it will include blocks throughout the city. The city says each individual block shouldn't take too long to complete, and depending on how much work needs to be done on that particular block. Now, you can see which streets are on this project by going to our webpage and clicking on the link in this story that will lead you to all kinds of information about the bond project and what's coming up in the next 10 months. And oh, by the way, as you just mentioned, SPID has started moving just in the last few minutes, so that problem we had seems to be taken care of by local police. Reporting from Moravian Drive, Brian Burns, 3 News.
All right, thank you, Brian.